What's going on? Welcome back to the channel, and today we are talking about the Premier League title race. Manchester City might not win the Premier League, and this isn't the first time I've said this season, but Arsenal have the hallmark of champions. Arsenal are winning games they probably shouldn't be winning. It's almost the shock of the season last night against Luton. And they turn up from 3-2 down Arsenal to win 4-3 in the 96th minute. And they've already done that this season as well. That's not the first time Declan Rice has come up trumps. It's actually the third time. What a signing he has turned out to be. He's a fantastic addition to that midfield. He's everything they need and wanted in their midfield that it was lacking last year. He's the warrior. He's the carrier. He moves them up the pitch. He's progressive. He puts his shift in. He has the dirty side of his game as well. And then when you need him most, this guy can turn it on and completely and utterly transform your game. And look what he did last night. This guy's a clutch player. A fantastic addition. And I'm gutted as a Chelsea fan that the boyhood club of his couldn't get that deal over the line. But let's talk about why I think Arsenal are going to win the league. But before we do, if you're new to the channel, make sure to like and subscribe. And let me know in the comments who you think will win the league. I think we got 3 or 4 serious competitors this season. So let me know down below. I don't think it's Tottenham anymore, by the way. So, Arsenal Football Club last year got so close. And in the big games, when the pressure was on and they needed a result, what did they do? They went and bottled it pretty much. They weren't good enough when it mattered right at the end of the season. Now, I think that's made them mentality monsters. They have turned into a machine. I don't think at this moment in time they're playing as good a football as they did at points last season. I'm not sure that they are, but they are winning games that last year they did lose. Now, they probably didn't always lose to the level of Luton, but wasn't it Southampton last year, cost them the league pretty much? So they were losing to teams in the relegation battle, and that cost them the league. Them coming back against Luton, 3-2 down, shows me that Arsenal have learnt their lesson. Their mentality is now stronger, and they've added players to the team that are mentality machines. Look at what Declan Rice is doing for Arsenal. Look at what he did for West Ham. How many times did we see Declan Rice single-handedly carry the ball up the pitch or be on the end of that all-important finish that won West Ham massive games? A lot. And he's done it from a young age. This guy is loving life at Arsenal. And he's a wonderful addition. The other name I want to talk about at Arsenal is Kai Havertz. He has started off with unbelievable stick at Arsenal. And it's no surprise. He cost 60 million. He had a pretty abysmal record and time at Chelsea. However, we all know that he won the Champions League. And that's probably the highlight of his whole career. His best form probably never came at Chelsea. I think it was always at Bayer Leverkusen, where he played in a number of different positions. But there's a very key factor here. He was never the out-and-out number 9, and he definitely wasn't a centre midfielder. And right now, Arsenal have kind of unlocked the Kai Havertz position that I predicted right at the beginning of the season when they signed him in a video about Arsenal winning the transfer window. I said, if you use Kai Havertz in this way, he will get you goals and he will step up and be a big player. Because I believe he has that in him. And all the way up until the last few weeks, that hasn't happened. But I've watched Arsenal a couple of times recently, and Havertz is getting on the score sheet. Kai Havertz is doing what he does best. His off-the-ball movement is fantastic. But right now, I know his record and his numbers aren't amazing. And I actually don't think they ever will be, because I don't think he's a fantastic numbers guy. But he will get you goals. And what they're doing so well, Arsenal, is occupying the defenders with everyone else, and it allows Havertz to find space where his movement can be deadly and he can punish teams. believe me, Kai Havertz is growing into himself at Arsenal Football Club. And they've got injured. Look, the Tomiyasu injury, the way he's been playing the last couple of games, he knocked Ben White out the side. That's not ideal. But every player they seem to bring in Arsenal is doing a job. And they're doing it well. Like Tomiyasu will be injured, they'll bring in Ben White. They're in a great position. And I genuinely believe at this very moment in time, Arsenal Football Club are favourites to win the Premier League. And I'm sticking by that. And I think I said that in my predictions. I can't remember 100%, but I do think I said that. And then I was kind of concerned with how they started. But right now, I think Arsenal Football Club could go and win the Premier League if they carry this on and they keep winning these type of games. A lot of you will be saying, what about Manchester City? What about Liverpool? Well, look, Manchester City, something doesn't feel right to me. I've said it already this season. Like, the supply line doesn't feel as good. Don't get me wrong, there's that game where Doku was unbelievable and got 5 assists. And I think that was literally the day after I made a video talking about Manchester City's supply line. Newcastle are on and off. I think their squad is really being tested, but they are a tough team to play against. Liverpool are in the conversation. There's no doubt about it. They are, that game against Fulham, that's similar to Arsenal. It's a massive result. It shows determination. It shows that they're fighting. They're a team. And we know that a Jurgen Klopp side are always, the same as Arsenal are becoming, mentality monsters. They are. They know how to win. They know how to not give up. They know how to fight until the very, very end and get results. And if things go wrong for them, they learn from it. And they're so good at that. And yeah, look, they've been off it for the last couple of seasons. But this new squad at Liverpool, I think, is starting to gel. And I'm intrigued to see how that goes. But I think because of what Arsenal did last season and where they finished, they're not a worse team than last year. And everyone around them is a little bit worse, bar Liverpool and probably Aston Villa, who's the other team we need to talk about. The dark horses for a Premier League title this season. Unai Emery is currently, for me, Premier League Manager of the season. An unbelievable job this guy's doing. No one saw this coming. People spoke about Unai Emery and said, look, Villa will go and win the Conference League with him. He's amazing in Europe. But actually, when you're looking at it now, they're doing okay in Europe and they're doing really well in the Premier League. I know their away form's not amazing, but watch this space with them because I don't think they'll go and win the league, but they could end up nicking their 4th place spot. That's what I really think. I think you're looking at Arsenal, Manchester City, Liverpool, potentially Aston Villa, which is crazy if you think about it to say that when Gerrard was there not that long ago, or even when Unai Emery took over, I think on the form table, he was sitting about second. So he's kind of just continuing the form that he's had since he got the job. But going back to Arsenal, if they can keep this up, they can motivate themselves on the errors that they made last year and improve and keep fighting and keep this amazing mentality that they've got right now, they will win the Premier League. Like I said, let me know in the comments below who you think will win the Prem. I'm sticking with Arsenal. I'd love to hear your thoughts. We've got Chelsea, Man United this evening. Praying Chelsea get a result there. I will catch you in the next one, probably after that game, in a bit.